Virgo, how are you guys doing? It is time for your April 2025 extended reading. So, this is just one last swoop across the table. Got to make sure I get every crumb of information, every situation, every scenario out of the month of April that I possibly can before we can move on to the mid-month messages. And y'all know me, that's my favorite time of the month, man. But we got to do this first. So, anybody who's in need of a personal reading, just check the description of the video, and that's where you'll find everything you need to know as far as how to go about getting one. All right, let's jump into this. Starting these off with general messages. General messages. So, career, finance, friends, family, anything but romance. What are the general messages for Virgo? April 2025, general messages. What general messages do we have for Virgo? Career, finance, friends, family. General messages. Ooh, got that 9 of Cups. Okay. Two more shuffles, two more. Queen of Cups. 6 of Swords reversed. Okay, Lover's card. Okay. So, the first thing that I want to look at, if the message is about another person, which I think it is. Remember, it's not romance. So, is it friend or family? Well, at the end of the day, it's whoever the first person is that comes to mind when I say this. But this is feeling like some family energy here. I'm not going to lie. Lover's card, Queen of Cups. That's somebody that's not a romantic partner that you have a really, 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 really close, deep connection with. Could be somebody that's close enough to be family, you know. It's whoever it is that comes to your mind when I say this. But it feels like somebody you fell out with in the past, honestly. Feels like somebody you fell out with in the past. I feel like there's going to be a brief reconnection. With the Death card reversed, 6 of Swords reversed. That's somebody coming back around, reconnecting. But what happens 9 times out of 10 when you try to reconnect with somebody? You just end up walking away from them again, don't you? Just end up walking away from them again. You're concluding that this person has not made any kind of genuine change. You don't feel like you're getting closure. You can just kind of tell that this is just going to be a repeat cycle. Just going to be a repeat cycle. So you may kind of acquiesce to seeing what this person's all about, whether or not they're bringing a new energy back to the table. And you're concluding that, no, I'm not bringing you back into my life. Walking away from this and not closing the cycle out. Not closing it out. So there's still a karmic tie here. Yeah, Tower card. Okay. All right. Yep, for some of you, it could be your mom, possibly. Again, it could be anybody. As long as it's not a romantic partner or ex or anything like that. All right, well, let's get some general advice. What's the general advice for Virgo, universe? General advice. Ooh, 10 of Pentacles reversed. I don't know who needs to hear this. I know this isn't all of you, but don't let anybody try to buy their way back into your life. I don't know who that applies to, but yeah. Don't let nobody try to buy their way back into your life. Hangman reversed. Star card. Knight of Wands. Hey, you know what? sometimes, as long as you time it out right, and if it's not timed out right, as long as you go into it with the right mindset, revisiting the past can actually help you let go of something and close something out. It can actually help you. It's happened to me. That I can think of, it happened to me once a few years ago, where I reconnected with somebody that I fell out with, and they just turned out to be the fucking same person they were back in the day. So it was actually much easier to step away from it and release it. Like, oh, okay, yeah, you haven't changed, have you? No, you haven't changed. So as long as you go into it with the right mindset, manage your expectations of others. I know that sounds cliche, man, but having little to no expectations of others will help you avoid a lot of disappointment. A whole lot. A whole lot. But at the end of the day, trust people to be who they are. Trust them to be who they are. Trust a liar to lie to you. Trust a snake to bite you. And when somebody comes back into your life, you see it happen all the time. You know, you start painting this picture in your mind of the changes you think they should have made. You start painting this idealized version of them in your mind, and then when they come back into your life, when they show you that that's not who they are, then it's real easy to get pissed off about it. Don't get pissed off about it. Use that as motivation to help you release it. Okay? Try not to get too caught up in expectations. All right. Let's move on to the love portion. Let's see what's coming in next for the singles. Who's the next person coming in for the single Virgos? Next person coming in. Who's the next person coming in for the single Virgos? 5 of Cups reverse. Lovers reversed. Kind of struggling to feel a connection with this person. Yeah. King of Swords reversed. You're struggling to feel a connection with them. And it might just be their general attitude. Even if they're leading with their best foot forward, you can still, I think, kind of feel that deep down inside, I think this person, I don't know, they have a fear of abandonment, fear of rejection. They're holding on to a lot of animosity from past failed relationships. I don't know, just something about this spread screams fake. This just screams fake. I'm being fake, putting on a show, putting on a fake smile, and I think you can see right through it. So you're having a hard time connecting with them. Hard time. So you're kind of up in your head, deliberating, going back and forth. Is it worth it? Should I do this? Should I walk away from this? You don't know. By the way, I think this is a totally new person that you do not know yet. I always forget to add that in there. Yeah. So, okay. Well, let's see what their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions are. Next person coming in for Virgo. What's their energy look like? What kind of person are they? How do they see you? How do they feel about you? Three of Cups reversed. 2 more. Yeah, see, Five of Pentacles reversed again. Yeah, see? They have a fear of abandonment. Empress reversed, Seven of Cups. Oh, man, okay. So this person's ready to find their life partner and settle down. They are. But I think they're still so damn broken and traumatized that I don't even think they would... It's like they want to keep their options open and shop around and play the field until they find that person. You know? Yeah, I don't even think they know how to attract their actual fucking life partner. They don't even know. They're just kind of hoping that if they shop around and play the field, then one of these days they'll meet their divine life partner. So, yeah, they got some serious trust issues. I think they were cheated on in their last relationship. They're ready to settle down with their life partner. They just don't know who that person is, if that makes sense. I wouldn't say they have bad intentions, but I would say that this person seems incredibly lost, confused, and broken. Incredibly. But they're wearing a fake smile, and you can see right through it. I think you can feel that at the deepest level, they're just lost, confused, and broken. All right, well, let's see how it plays out for the first 60 days. How's it playing out for the first 60 days when the next person comes in for Virgo? How's it playing out for the next 60 days? Four of Wands reversed. Death reversed. Okay, well, I don't think you're ending this. But by the second month, I can see you a little bit frustrated and a little bit annoyed. Not really fulfilled. Not really 100% happy. Not really 100% sure where you want to take this. So, yeah. An ending isn't happening. It's almost like you're trying to make yourself happy with it. You're trying to make yourself happy with it, but I don't know, you're just not all the way satisfied with this. All right, well, let's get the advice. What is the advice? What's the advice for Virgo when the next person comes in? What's the advice? What's the advice? Boom, Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, communication, man. Communication. So, when you're connecting with a new person and communication is not the greatest, you can kind of tell that somebody has their walls up, has their guard up, and has a lot of stuff going on deep down inside that they're kind of hiding from you. What is your responsibility? Yeah, you have a responsibility. Yeah, you do. I'm not saying it's all on you, but you do have a responsibility. Your responsibility is to do the best you can to make sure that this person knows that they're safe to open up and express themselves without being judged. Do the best you can to let them know that. Now, again, at the end of the day, that's not all on you. That's not all on you. And even if you do that, they still have to make the free will decision to let their guard down, you know? But that's your responsibility when connecting with a new person. When you're around me, shit, I ain't judging you for nothing. I ain't going to judge you. I'm not going to look down on you. I'm not going to fucking talk shit to you. You know, I want to get to know you for who you are. No judgment, no bias, just straight up observer mode. I'm just curious to know who you are as a person. And if you do that, most people will feel safe to open up and let their guard down. Most people, all they really want is to meet somebody they can open up to. You know how exhausting it is for some people to go through their life with their guard up, constantly having to hide secrets and hide whole aspects of themselves from everybody. At the end of the day, everybody just wants somebody they can open up to and just be their true, authentic self. So that's what I would focus on in the beginning. Again, it's not all on you. I'm not saying that's your responsibility to make them open up. You can't make them open up. Because at the end of the day, here's another thing about some people that have their guard up. They don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to face themselves. So if the things they're hiding from you, they're also hiding from themselves, they damn sure ain't gonna let nobody else in there. So there's nothing you can do about that. Nothing you can do about that. But I would focus on that in the beginning. Focus on that. Being patient with them and letting them know, hey, you're cool to fucking be you around me. I ain't gonna judge you. All right. Now, let's see what's going on with the Virgos who are currently in a long-term relationship. So remember, if you're not in a long-term relationship, this is not for you. If you are in a long-term relationship, but the two of you are not experiencing problems, this is not for you. Let's see how things are looking between Virgo and the current long-term partner. Virgo and the current long-term partner. How are things looking? How's it looking? All right, last shuffle, last one. Ah, okay. Eight of Swords, King of Cups, Six of Pentacles. Okay, well, it does look like you're doing the best you can to try to work through this. Ah, man. You're doing the best you can to try to work through this, but honestly, I don't know. With this Ten of Swords, Five of Cups, it feels like deep down you're kind of giving up on this. You're not walking away from this, but it's like you don't really have the faith in this anymore. Not really. It's kind of hard to explain the energy that I'm seeing here, to be honest with you. Like, I'm going to stick with it and hope that things get better. If I just pretend that everything is okay and go through the motions, then hopefully everything will work out. But deep down inside, it's like you're just giving up on this at the deepest level. At the deepest level. For some of you, it could be some financial codependency issues. Like maybe money is the main thing keeping the two of you together. You know? Okay. Well, all right. This got you way out of your element, way out of your comfort zone. Some of you have completely lost yourselves in the midst of this shit. Completely lost yourselves. Okay, well, let's see how they feel about you and what their energy looks like. Current long-term partner Virgo is dealing with. How do they see you? How do they feel about you? What's their energy look like? What kind of person are they in general? Justice. Could be a Libra for some of you. karmic wheel reversed. Okay, so, well, they wish this would work out. They don't want this to end, but they do feel like you all are repeating a cycle. Now, for those of you dealing with a person that you suspect may only be around for the money, I know that's not all of you. So if that's not your story, just chuck this aside. But there's a few of you dealing with a situation where you suspect they're only sticking around for money. I got the card here for that. Just saying. But with the Ten of Cups right in the heart of the spread, they don't want this to end, but they don't know what to do to make things better. They don't know. Two of Swords. They don't know. See, Two of Swords is all about being indecisive. Ace of Cups reversed on one side, Ten of Cups on the other. They don't know how they feel. They don't know what they want. They wish they could just rub a magic lamp and have a genie come out and make your relationship all better. That's what they wish they could do. They're hoping they just wake up one morning and everything goes back to normal, or goes back to the way it was back in the day, or all the problems disappear and go away. All right. Well, I don't think separation is happening in April. Let's grab the advice. What's the advice for Virgo and the current long-term partner? What's the advice? Virgo and the current long-term partner. Ooh, Six of Wands, Six of Cups. Okay, so you could save this relationship. You could. You absolutely could. I think where we get into slippery territory with a long-term relationship is whether or not both people understand what they need to do. Well, that's not the only. Understanding what to do and then actually doing it is two totally different things. But most of the time, when you have two people who have been together long term, if you understand what to do, you'll do it. So, like I said, I'm not 100% convinced that this person knows what to do. I'm not convinced of that. I'm not really convinced of that. I'm trying to figure out a different way to explain this that's not my just normal go-to advice. We got to be able to sit down and have a conversation in which we're both open and vulnerable with each other. We got to be able to do that. We got to be able to do that. I got to be able to bring my concerns to you without triggering your defenses. And you got to bring your concerns to me and me not trigger my defenses. I got to open up and be vulnerable, put my ego aside, and hear you out. You got to open up, be vulnerable, put your ego aside, and hear me out. And then we both put towards the work and the effort necessary on ourselves. And it takes time. Like I've said, it takes time. It takes time. We can't expect a person to flip a switch and become the perfect fucking person overnight. Takes some time. But it's just getting this person to understand that. Getting this person to understand that they need to work on the shit they need to work on. And you're working on the shit you need to work on. If you can figure out how to get them to understand that, you all could save this relationship. You could. You absolutely could. So, whatever way you think you can help that person understand that. But again, delivering the message without triggering their defenses. That's the tricky part. How do you do that? How do I sit down and talk to you in a way that you'll receive the message? How do I do that? That's tricky, and it's different for every individual. But yeah, I would work on trying to figure that out. And then just remember that it takes time. It's not going to be an overnight thing. Not going to be an overnight thing at all. So, all right, y'all. Well, I feel like those were the messages that my Virgo family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, the information for personal readings is in the description, okay? All right, I'm out of here now, y'all. I wish you love, luck, light, and prosperity on your journey. Stay blessed.